Hi, Dana here from Serious Vanity on Friday, July 1st, 2016. Happy July, everybody. I've taken a bit of a break off from doing the podcast because after Orlando happened, I felt like I kind of got on my soapbox and said my piece, and then it felt kind of inappropriate to then say, okay, let's all party while there's so much chaos and havoc and discord going on. You know, sometimes you have to acknowledge that social media is social. It's not just a platform for promotion. And so when the conversation is turned towards these really important issues, you don't go in there and just put a megaphone to your mouth and just yell what you want to talk about. It's like you may go to a funeral and there are many great prospects there, but you don't pass out your business card because that's not what you're there united for. It's not the time. So that's kind of how I felt about it anyway. But I do want to talk a little bit today about coming full circle. There are many reasons why we enter into business, why we choose the path of entrepreneurship when really it is a difficult and lonely road. For a lot of people, I think that they think it's all just fun and games and you're just be your own boss and it's just a party all the time. And for those of us living the dream, that is absolutely not the case, though there are many joys to be found within the work, especially if we love what we do. But for each of us, there probably is a reason why we chose this. For me, I was a little bitty tiny tot when I started spending my allowance money and little money I made selling things at garage sales and lemonade stands and every way that children make money. I saved those pennies and I went to the TG&Y. I would buy paper clips and ledgers and other ridiculous things for my business hope chest. I planned my whole life for this. And even the music part of it, of course, was a big part of it. And I'm sure I will go off many times on my first tape recorder when I was 7 and setting up my record label and plotting all that out when I was 15. And all of that is part of it. But there was never really a time when this wasn't going to be my life. But even with that much of a single-minded goal, my path has not been straight. No one's is. It's taken a lot of turns, gone off on a lot of forks in the road that I did not expect. But ultimately, one day you're walking that path and you come to a familiar place in the road. And you didn't expect to be back in this familiar place. It's exciting and it's exhilarating, but it's different at the same time. It's not the same way you left it. I was talking yesterday about my woods. I live really close to a woods that I walk in. And I can't even say every year it changes. It just changes constantly. And for all the time that I've spent woods walking, which has been several years now, I've never walked in the same woods twice. Because it's in this constant state of flux. And I can think back to when I first started doing it, and especially now, like it is nothing at all like the way it used to be, but it is literally the same thing. Would I want to go back in time and walk in the first woods? No, I already had those experiences. I get excited to take my walks now, in the here and now. That's a lot of the same emotion that I'm having right now with what's happening with Serious Vanity. And that's exciting and it's new and old at the same time. And I'm stoked to see where it goes. And I know that it won't stay here. So that too is a big adventure. I could sit around and get mad a lot that there were things that I wanted to happen in the past that did not. I could get really mad at myself or other people or circumstances that it would have been better, quote unquote, if certain things had happened then rather than now. I mean, you could sit around and waste a lot of time like that if you want to. But at some point you accept that this is the way it had to happen in order to get here. This is where you want to be, and all of that was necessary. And all the things that didn't happen were just imaginary. They didn't happen. So just look at them not like missed opportunities or something that's lost. Just look at them as what they are, which were ideas. So, on this Independence Day weekend, for those of us in the United States, I hope you liberate yourself from those thoughts that are holding you back from accepting all that you were meant to be in this moment. Have a great weekend, guys, and I will talk to you next week.